Matthew Prince has access to data the rest of us don't. As CEO of Cloudflare, his company processes 55 million HTTP requests every second. 20% of the entire internet flows through his servers. Last week, he said something that should alarm every person watching this. By 2027, 12 months from now, bots will outnumber humans on the internet. Not spam bots, not simple scrapers, AI agents sophisticated enough to behave exactly like you and me. And while that future approaches, Jeff Bezos is raising $100 billion to buy American factories and replace their workers with AI. OpenAI just acquired a development company to compete with Anthropic in the battle for developers. Meta is firing human content moderators and replacing them with algorithms. 5 stories, 1 inflection point. We've crossed from AI as a tool to AI as infrastructure. I'm Alex. This is the Read AI, and what happens in the next 12 months will determine whether humans control the internet or simply use it. Right now, approximately half of all internet traffic comes from humans. The other half comes from bots. 5 years ago, that ratio was 70-30 in favor of humans. 10 years ago, it was 85-15. The trend line points in one direction. Prince isn't speculating when he says bots will dominate by 2027. He's reading server logs that show the shift accelerating every quarter. But here's what makes this different from previous waves of bot traffic. These aren't simple programs clicking through web pages. These are AI agents trained to behave like humans because they learned from watching humans. They navigate websites the way you do, they click at human speeds, they pause before making decisions, they even solve CAPTCHAs, those little puzzles designed specifically to prove you're not a robot. The systems built to detect bots can't keep up. Every defense gets countered within months. And the consequences are already visible. The New York Times saw a 40% traffic increase in late 2025. Sounds good, right? Except when they analyzed the data, they realized most of that growth wasn't readers. It was AI systems scraping their articles to train language models. BuzzFeed reported similar patterns, so did the Washington Post. Publishers can't tell anymore which of their visitors are human. This breaks everything the internet economy is built on. Advertising is a $740 billion industry predicated on a simple assumption. The metrics represent human attention. Click-through rates, time on page, engagement scores. All of it assumes humans are watching, reading, clicking. Remove that assumption and the entire model collapses. If half your audience is bots, your engagement numbers are fiction. Advertisers pay for human attention. What happens when they can't verify they're getting it? Google Analytics can't distinguish sophisticated AI agents from real users. Neither can Adobe Analytics. Neither can any mainstream tracking platform. Recommendation algorithms are degrading. YouTube suggests videos based on what you think you'll watch. Netflix recommends shows based on viewing patterns. Spotify builds playlists based on listening habits. Feed those systems bot behavior instead of human preferences, and the recommendations stop making sense. You've probably noticed this already, suggestions that feel increasingly random, less personalized, more algorithmic in the worst way. Security systems face an impossible challenge. Traditional bot detection looks for inhuman behavior, clicking too fast, triggering too many requests, navigating illogically. Modern AI agents don't exhibit those patterns. They're trained specifically to avoid them. Cloudflare is developing new verification systems, proof of humanity protocols, behavioral analysis that goes deeper than simple pattern matching. But Prince acknowledges the fundamental problem. As AI improves, distinguishing human from machine becomes exponentially harder. GPT-5 solves CAPTCHAs. Claude navigates websites indistinguishably from humans. The next generation will be better. The generation after that, better still. We built the internet on an assumption that's expiring. The entities using it are human. What replaces that assumption? Nobody knows yet.
But the timeline is clear. 12 months from now, bots are the majority. The internet you grew up with, a space where humans communicate with other humans, that internet is ending. And most people have no idea it's happening. Jeff Bezos is assembling the largest industrial fund in history. The Wall Street Journal broke the story yesterday. $100 billion raised from investment partners to buy American manufacturing companies and rebuild them with AI. Not software companies, not tech startups, physical factories that make physical things. To understand the scale, $100 billion is larger than the entire GDP of 130 countries. It's more than Ford, General Motors, and Stellantis combined are worth as companies. It dwarfs every manufacturing-focused private equity fund ever created. The strategy is straightforward. American manufacturing died because labor costs in the U.S. couldn't compete with labor costs in China, Vietnam, Mexico. Factories closed, jobs moved overseas, entire cities built around manufacturing collapsed economically. AI changes that equation. Replace human workers with AI-controlled robotics, and a factory in Michigan can suddenly compete on cost with a factory in Shenzhen. Add in proximity to customers, reduced shipping times, lower logistics costs, less geopolitical risk, and domestic manufacturing becomes viable again. Bezos has already proven this works. Amazon operates 520,000 robotic units across its fulfillment network. Those robots replaced an estimated 200,000 warehouse jobs. The company is now one of the most automated logistics operations on the planet, and it's profitable specifically because of that automation. The manufacturing fund would scale that model to traditional industries: automotive parts, electronics assembly, textile production, food processing, industrial equipment. The playbook is to identify struggling American manufacturers, acquire them, install AI production systems, cut labor costs by 60 to 80%, undercut foreign competitors on price while keeping production domestic. There are two ways this story ends. First version, American industrial revival. Manufacturing returns to regions that lost it decades ago. Supply chains become less dependent on China. Communities built around factory work regain economic foundations. The U.S. rebuilds industrial capacity it hasn't had since the 1980s. Second version, permanent elimination of manufacturing jobs. Communities that relied on factory work lose their economic base entirely. Retraining programs can't keep pace with displacement. Structural unemployment accelerates across the industrial Midwest and South. Both versions might happen simultaneously in different regions with different industries. The timing is deliberate. The current administration has pushed industrial policy harder than any government in 40 years. Tariffs on Chinese goods, subsidies for domestic production, Buy American requirements in federal contracts. A $100 billion bet on AI manufacturing fits perfectly into that political environment. Bezos gets policy support, tax incentives, regulatory accommodation. In return, the administration gets to claim American manufacturing is returning. Two questions remain unanswered. First, which industries does the fund target? Low-skill manufacturing, like textiles, where automation is straightforward. High-skill production, like semiconductors, where automation is harder but more valuable. General industrial equipment, where demand is steady. Second, what happens to the workers? Amazon has faced years of criticism over warehouse conditions, wage suppression, and job displacement. Scale that to traditional manufacturing communities, Detroit, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, cities where factory jobs are generational and the political risk multiplies. The fund is early stage, no deals have closed, no companies have been named, but the signal is unmistakable. Bezos sees AI manufacturing as a $100 billion opportunity. When someone who built a $2 trillion company by betting on automation commits that level of capital, industries pay attention. American manufacturing is about to change. Whether it changes for workers or in spite of them depends on decisions being made right now in rooms most of us will never see.
In another news, OpenAI announced an acquisition this morning, Astral, a company that makes Python development tools. Financial terms weren't disclosed, which usually means expensive. On the surface, this looks like a standard tech acquisition. Company buys complementary technology, integrates it into their platform, moves on. Look closer, and it's a confession. Astral makes Rough, a Python code checker, and UV, a package manager. Both tools are widely used. Rough has over 28,000 stars on GitHub, which in developer terms means it's genuinely popular, not just hyped. The reason OpenAI wants these tools, Anthropic is beating them with developers. Claude Code launched in late 2025 and gained traction OpenAI didn't expect. GitHub's internal surveys, which they haven't published but have shared with partners, show Claude Code adoption exceeding Copilot in certain developer segments. Professional developers, the ones building complex systems at scale, increasingly prefer Claude for refactoring large code bases, architectural planning, and understanding how different parts of a system interact. OpenAI's Codex, which powers GitHub Copilot, dominated for years. That dominance is slipping. And in the AI industry, developer preference determines enterprise revenue. Companies buy the AI platforms their engineering teams want to use. If developers standardize on Claude, enterprises buy Anthropic. If they standardize on ChatGPT, enterprises buy OpenAI. The Astral acquisition is OpenAI's attempt to catch up by acquiring Python tooling that Anthropic doesn't have. But here's the tell. Companies don't acquire competitors' capabilities when they're winning. They acquire when they're falling behind and need to close the gap quickly. OpenAI is falling behind in developer tools. The acquisition is expensive damage control. The competitive dynamics are intensifying across the industry. Anthropic has Claude Code and strong API adoption. OpenAI has ChatGPT, Codex, and now Astral. Google has Gemini Code Assist. Microsoft has Copilot integrated across its entire product suite. Whoever controls the developer experience controls the enterprise market. Python is the dominant language for AI development, data science, back-end systems. Control Python developer tools, and you control a significant portion of the AI development ecosystem. Astral's founders join OpenAI. The tools remain open source for now. Closing them would alienate the exact developer community OpenAI is trying to win back. But integration into ChatGPT's commercial products is inevitable within months. Anthropic hasn't responded publicly. They don't need to. Claude Code's adoption numbers speak clearly enough. The war for developers is real, expensive, and accelerating. OpenAI just spent undisclosed millions to stay competitive. Expect more acquisitions as the gap between leaders and followers widens. Two more stories developing today, both worth understanding because they connect to larger patterns. Meta is replacing human content moderators with AI systems. The company announced new AI-powered enforcement tools while reducing contracts with third-party moderation vendors. Companies like Accenture and Cognizant employ tens of thousands of people who review flagged content, harassment, violence, misinformation, abuse. Meta's shift to algorithmic enforcement eliminates that need. The cost savings are substantial, especially as the company plans to cut 20% of its total workforce. The accuracy question is open. Human moderators understand context, cultural nuance, sarcasm, intent. AI systems flag keywords and patterns. Historically, that's meant high error rates, false positives removing legitimate content, false negatives missing actual violations. Meta claims the new systems are more accurate. We'll see. Thousands of contractor jobs disappear regardless. In China, OpenClaw has become a cultural phenomenon. While American security researchers panic over OpenClaw's vulnerabilities, 135,000 compromised systems, critical CVEs, enterprise exposure, China has turned the software into a lifestyle brand. Reuters reports school children and retirees are raising lobsters as pets, not metaphorical lobsters, actual crustaceans, because the lobster is OpenClaw's mascot. The software spread from developer communities to mainstream culture. People are buying and caring for lobsters because of an AI coding tool.
This illustrates a fundamental difference in AI adoption strategies. The US prioritizes security, moves cautiously, worries about vulnerabilities. China prioritizes adoption, moves fast, deals with problems as they emerge. Both approaches have consequences. The US might be more secure but slower to benefit. China might be less secure but faster to integrate AI into daily life. Which strategy wins? Unclear, but the contrast couldn't be sharper. 5 stories share a common thread. AI is no longer a technology we use, it's infrastructure we depend on. The internet shifts from human to bot traffic. Manufacturing shifts from workers to automation. Content moderation shifts from human judgment to algorithmic enforcement. Developer tools shift from human-written code to AI assistance. Cultural phenomena emerge around AI products. None of this is theoretical. Cloudflare CEO reads server logs that show bots approaching majority status. Bezos raises $100 billion based on manufacturing economics that work. OpenAI acquires development tools because they're losing market share. Meta deploys AI moderation because it's cheaper than humans. The infrastructure built for humans is being optimized for machines. That optimization is happening now, and it's accelerating. This is Today in AI. We cover infrastructure shifts as they happen, not after they've already changed your life. Drop a comment. Where is the world heading? Bot traffic and the dead internet theory? Bezos' $100 billion manufacturing play? The OpenAI Anthropic developer war? I'm Alex, and this is the Red AI. See you in the next one.